stand-up comedy debut. Please put your hands together for Pamela Wible.
Great to be back in the city. I'm a doctor, and I work in New York City and Oregon. I'm bi-coastal, and I'm in therapy. Yeah, so people in Oregon, way different than New York. Yeah, they like to make eye contact with you. And they smile. They're stoned. Oh, man. Yeah, so my therapist, I love Oregon, but it's so slow. She says, it's okay, Pamela. You're moving at cocaine speed in a marijuana state. The problem is leaving New York City is the culture shock. Easing my way back into the non-consensual hugging. My neighbor invited me over for dinner. I come over with a bottle of wine and find myself on the floor in a group hug for 3 hours. Oh my God. I mean, it felt like I was breastfeeding 10 hippies. It's legal to go topless in Oregon and New York City. Yeah. Part of the Free the Nipple movement. And Oregon is so progressive that breast painting is considered a family activity. Along with the naked midnight bike riding. And that's not some kind of Oregon stereotype. That's what I do with my patients. And you know that's true. Yeah. So, I went to med school in Texas, and Texas is #1 in executions. My med school is world famous. I went to the only med school inside a prison hospital. You'd think they would have mentioned that on the application. I show up day 1, 21 years old, and my patients are rapists and serial killers. But it had its upside. When it came to appointments, all of them were there. On time. Another big perk is my tuition was subsidized by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. So my death row criminals, they paid for their crimes and my medical education. I was learning to do rectal exams on murderers. Prostate feels pretty good, but your cholesterol's up. That could kill you. Oh man, so it was crazy, ordering heart-healthy meals for patients on death row. I mean, but really, to graduate on time, I had to keep them alive till we killed them. Oh man, and to put this in really some context, for the previous 4 years, I was at an all-women's college. So I hadn't really been around men in years, forever. And I found myself on the front line of America's most wanted rectums. And I had the most wanted finger. And I'm thinking, man, picture this, imagine, I'm like this sweet, compassionate, loving, idealistic young woman with my finger up the ass of a serial killer. 2 big guards behind me. That's kind of hot, right? Oh man, I'm thinking, isn't this every woman's fantasy? Yeah, I mean, truly, I was the most wanted of the most wanted. You know, when it, trying to convince these guys to eat less meat and more vegetables, you know. I mean, these guys were real carnivores. A couple were cannibals. I'm talking kale smoothies, and they're thinking, I'd like to eat your elbows. Death row healthcare, that's an oxymoron. But I deal with a lot of oxymorons and morons on oxy. You know, so as a physician in Oregon, I was licensed to perform actually. I'm licensed to perform right now physician-assisted suicide. And in Texas, I'm licensed to perform physician-assisted homicide. So I feel very comfortable working in both states, Oregon and Texas, because in both states, I can legally kill you.